Oh my gosh, Marcus, what is up? Marcus has been with me since the beginning, since I did like a couple live classes on dream interpretations. So this is awesome. It's good to see you, man, or at least hear from you. I'm excited to answer this dream for you. Let me grab my laptop. But before I do, I just want to say thank you for one, being with me for so long, but two, being so patient with this dream response. I don't know if you can tell by these bags under my eyes, but I had strep throat for like a week. So I'm a little bit behind on things, but man, you have been so patient letting me get to this. I really appreciate it. So let me hop in to this dream and give you the answers that you're looking for. So, laptop, here we are. So you said, let me scroll to the top. Hold on. Said, "Hey Jesse, it's Marcus again. You really helped me with my last request, and I was able to take it to my therapist to pinpoint issues to work on so much. Thank you so much. I've started picking up on something else though. Great, here's where I come in. Recently, I had a dream where I was biking freely while following someone else, but later, as I tried to return from whence I came, I love the use of whence, by the way. Trying to return from whence I came, I began to feel as if I was being chased, and all of a sudden, became incredibly sluggish. I could barely move forward and open a door when it was presented. I also heard music getting louder, specifically, and this is weird, Tina Turner's Nutbush City Limits. But I don't know if that's relevant. It is, and I'll tell you why later. This has happened to me more than once where I can't seem to run away from something which seems to be ready to harm me. But this last time was also different because right before I woke up, I realized I was in a dream because I couldn't move. Then I bolted up awake. I always end up waking up scared, short of breath, and having my eyelids basically burst open rather than slowly waking up. I know I still have things to work on with my therapist, but I'm hella curious what this means when it has been reoccurring for years and years. Years and years, huh? Wow. Let's see. Thank you in advance, and I love following you on TikTok/Instagram. Keep up the awesome content. Marcus, thank you so much. You're an absolute sweetheart. Okay, so here are my thoughts. The first symbol, so you're kind of running away from something, but you're running away, well, no, not running away yet. You're traveling with somebody on a bike, right? You're kind of following someone on a bike. And a bike is interesting to me because it still has the same kind of symbolic feelings and metaphors as a car, right? Freedom, the ability to move, the ability to, translocate yourself to move yourself to a different place, which is great to get to your objective, but it's a little bit more physical than that, right? There's this pedaling involved. You don't have to have gas. It's a little bit more man-powered. What's interesting with that is oftentimes symbols like stairs or climbing or ladders. In fact, Freud said that every time there's stairs, climbing, or ladders, it is a symbol for sex. And I'm kind of getting some similar vibes here as well with like pedaling, there's this back and forth, you can only imagine what's going on below the bottom of the screen here, right? So there's some symbolism for maybe not sex in particular, maybe it is for you, but at least the more physical, the more primal parts of ourselves. And, in the beginning of the dream, you're freely enjoying those. You're allowing yourself to take part in your enjoyment of the physical body that you have and where that is taking you. In fact, you're following this idea, this part of yourself, this free and fun-loving part of yourself that's just going about and doing whatever it may well please. But then something happens. You try and go back to where you came from, and that's when everything kind of goes downhill. Well, I don't know if literally, but at least metaphorically. Then you start feeling chased and you feel like you are sluggish and you can't move away. That freedom turns into stagnation and you become frozen, sluggish, can't move, and you can't get away from this thing that you feel and you absolutely feel is going to hurt you. Here's what's interesting. Oftentimes, I interpret this every time this way because it's never failed me yet, where when we're running away from something, we are trying to run away from a part of ourselves that is trying to get our attention. There's something inside of us that is real, that is honest, and that needs to be validated that we're trying to get away from. And so when you're turning and running away from or trying to pedal away from this part of yourself, It's like impossible because really, can we ever get rid of parts of ourselves? No, of course not. And here's the most interesting thing, and I'm so glad you put this in here because I feel like you almost didn't. Tina Turner's, what was it? Nutbush City Limits. Have you read the lyrics to that song? It has everything to do with this like contrast and this struggle between, like religion, doing what's right, and then what I want to do. And so I think at the core, and it's amazing that your brain gave you this song because it's illustrating exactly what is at the core of this dream. At the core, this dream is saying, hey, there are times when you let yourself go and you just enjoy your life, but then you try and turn and you try and buckle down and do the right thing or be overly critical of yourself or, don't let yourself be the full person experience you are because you try and fit yourself into this box that you feel that you need to be, whether that's a religious box, whether that's a perfectionism box. You don't allow yourself room to be the organic, primal individual that you are. We have sexual drives, we have sexual desires, we have fun-loving drives, we have hedonistic desires. Those are good. In fact, those are the things that motivate us into doing what it is that we want to do and need to do with our life. So that's what this dream is trying to tell you, especially with the door. You're trying to open this door. You're trying to open a new part of yourself. A door can also be a symbol for, sex again. It can be a symbol for the vaginal opening, right? And so I think there's a lot of sexual imagery here. There's a lot of sort of body imagery here that I think is really the struggle that's at the core of this dream. The struggle being, here I am, this human being that wants pleasure and desire, and I know that there's these parts of me that I demonize that are fun-loving and sexual and are looking for enjoyment, but I feel as though I need to be this more perfectionistic, buttoned up, analytical part of myself. And so these two are in conflict. The solution to your dream, let whatever that thing is, it's a dream. Nothing terrible is going to happen to you in real life. It's just a dream. Let that thing that's trying to consume you and see what happens. Don't run from it anymore. Explore that. And there's no safer place to explore that than in your dreams. Marcus, I hope this helps. I hope this gives you some insight. Talk it through with your therapist. I love that you get to use these as fuel for your therapy content. That's my heart and my passion. Marcus, thank you so much. Please send me an email. I'm gonna give you my email address in the response here. I'd love to hear from you more. But take care, and until next time, peace.